Hi guys again. We're gonna study a vocabulary lesson. It's lesson 21, page 83 in your vocabulary book. Open it please and try to read the first word with me. Your mission, guys, will be to find out a clue to the meaning of the main words that we have here. For example, the first word is the word assay. We will read that example given here and we will try to provide a clue to the meaning of that word. I know that in some sentences and some examples that you have in your box, sometimes you don't have a clue to the meaning, but at least you can reach the meaning even without having a clear clue. Maybe it's subtle sometimes. So I read the first example with you, and we will try to apply the same strategy in all the words that we have, here. Number one, the first essay. As mayor traveled the country, he assessed the threats that destructive uses of the land pose to different species of plants. For example, in California, he assessed the destructive effect that improper sheep grazing had on wildflowers. Again, so the word assay, okay. Can you find out a clue to the meaning of the word assay? Of course, he said that he assayed the destructive effects. In the first sentence, he said, as he traveled the country, he assessed the threats. So I can figure out that the word assessed, okay, is the clue to the meaning of the word assay, or you can say in other words, it's the meaning of the word assay. So the first one, the word assay. Okay, if you go to the next page, if you go to the page 85, you have an exercise. You have to find out the word assay and the meanings of the word assay in that example. Of course, the answer is number 13. 13G is the word assay. Read the meanings, please, and after you finish, we will go to the next exercise, to the next word, in order to find either a clue or a meaning to the word in your examples. So again, the first word, the word assay, is number 13. So 13, and it's G, the word assay. Number 2, which part of speech is it? Of course, here it's a verb because he said he assayed the destructive effects. So assayed here is a verb. That's the first word. The second word, which is the word augment. The word augment. You have to find out which part of speech it is. That's number 1. Number 2, try to find out a clue to the meaning of the word augment. He said before, because he thought Americans didn't pay enough attention to nature, he wanted to augment people's appreciation of beautiful landscapes. Again, because that person thought Americans didn't pay much attention or enough attention to nature, he wanted to augment people's appreciation of beautiful landscapes. Guys, maybe you don't have a clear clue to the meaning of the word here, but you can guess out, you can infer the meaning from reading that example. He said at the beginning that didn't pay much attention. So if someone doesn't pay much attention, what should you do? You want to increase his attention. So you can say he wanted to augment people's appreciation of the beautiful landscapes. So the word augment can mean to increase. The word augment means increase. Number 2, which part of speech is it? Of course, it's a verb. So the word augment is a verb. That's number 1. Number 2, the noun from augment. Augment is augmentation. So augment and augmentation. And the clue, or not the clue, you can understand or guess the meaning from reading the first sentence. Didn't pay enough attention. So if someone doesn't pay enough attention, of course, you want to increase his or her attention. So the word augment is number 19, and the letter is B. Augment is number 19. The next one, the word diverge. Read the example, please. Take your time, just 1 minute, guys. Read the example, find which part of speech it is, and number 2, you have to find a clue to the meaning of the word diverge. Okay, that's enough, guys. The example reads, when it comes to the issue of redwood forests, Mayer saw his ideas of preservation diverged from those of business people who wanted to cut down the redwoods of London. So, the word diverge here, guys, do you have a clue to the meaning? Basically, there is no clue to the meaning of the word here, but you can figure out the meaning when I say, when you read, he diverged from those business people. Okay, he said that his ideas were preservative of the environment, and his idea or his ideas, his beliefs, they diverge from business people. So, what do business people do? Of course, they want to cut down the trees. So, guys, his ideas diverged from them. So you can figure out the meaning of the word diverge here, which is on the next page, page 85. You will find that the answer to that one is number 15. So 15 is diverge. Read the meanings, please. And again, which part of speech of the word diverge? We said the word diverge is a verb. The next one, which is the word faction. Faction, again, the same, guys, which part of speech it is. And number 2, a clue to the meaning. The example reads, even though people in the conservation movement agree on basic issues, there are factions within the movement because different people want different things. He said there are factions. Why do they have factions? Because he said that different people want different things. So, do you have a clue to the meaning here? Number 1, which part of speech is it? Which part of speech is it? He said that there are factions. So normally the word factions is a noun here. And we do have a clue here, which is, yeah, good. So different people want different things. So the clue here is different people want different things. So that's right, guys. So the word faction. Okay, check the next page, page 85 for the answers. You have the word factions, it's number 12. You have the word faction, 12. Read the meanings, please. It's D, 12D, faction, 12D, faction. The next one, okay, the word is favored. Please take your time, take just 1 minute, guys, to read the example, and I'll read it later for you, but read it first for 1 minute and try to find a clue to the meaning of the word favored. Okay, that's enough, guys. I read the example again for you. For example, some might argue that the stark beauty of a fjord should be easily accessible to tourists. Okay, and others might say the inlet and its surrounding cliffs should be reserved for the fish and the wildlife that live there. So, guys, do we have a clue? For sure, we have a clue here, which is the inlet and its surrounding cliffs. He said that the first sentence he provided us with the word fjord, and the second one he gave us the meaning of the word fjord. In number 1 he said fjord, in number 2 he said the inlet and the surrounding cliffs. So the word fjord meaning inlets and the surrounding cliffs. That's the meaning of the word, guys. So if you go to the next page, try to find the answer, please. Of course, you will find that meaning included in the meanings there, which is an inlet. So the answer is number 17. Okay, good. The next one, the word inherent. Please listen to me, guys, and try to find out the meaning of the word inherent. Okay, which part of speech is it? And a clue to the meaning or the meaning. So his dedication to nature was an inherent part of his personality. Inherent part. So number 1, which part of speech is it? Of course, it's an adjective modifying the word part. Inherent part of his personality. From the middle, from the time he was a small child, he loved to escape to the seashore and revel in the beauty he found there. Do you have a clue to the meaning of the word inherent? Yes. Can you say it, please? He said, from the time he was a small child. So that means that something is basic because you have it, you own it, you possess it since the time you were a child. So from the time he was a child is the clue to the meaning of inherent, and the word inherent is an adjective, so you can say it's something basic or inborn. Move to the next page, please. The word inherent is number, yes, try to find the answer. It's number 16, the word inherent. It's number 16 and its letter is C. Now the next word, listen please. The word is subside. Subside. He said, Mayer's interest in nature never subsided. He spent much of the time outdoors until his death. So number one, which part of speech of the word subside? He said, Mayer's interest in nature never subsided. So normally it's a verb here. He later said that he spent much of his time outdoors up until his death. So guys, if you do something regularly, okay, you do it much of the time, okay, that means that your interest in that thing weakens. For example, of course, it's not weakening at all. So again, the word subside, guys, means to become less. Again, it's a verb. The word subside is a verb, and then it means, from the clue here, he spent much of his time outdoors up until his death. It means that his interest in nature didn't subside or didn't weaken. So a verb, and it means to weaken or to become less. Also, guys, when you're angry, maybe your friend asks you to stay till your anger subsides. Subsides means to become less. So go to the next page, page 85. The word subside, you have the meaning of the word subside. It's number 20, guys, and its letter is J. So 20J. The word number 8, guys, the word taint. Read it, please, for just one minute and try to tell me the meaning or the clue to the meaning of the word taint. After you finish, guys, I read it again for you. I read it now, guys. The pattern of preservation begun by Mayer has ensured that certain areas have remained untainted. Thanks to Mayer attempts to commercialize and spoil, many unique areas have been thwarted. Thwarted means prevented. He said, thanks to Mayer attempts to commercialize, to sell, and spoil, many unique areas have been thwarted. Do you have a clue to the meaning here? He said that because of the pattern of preservation he began, okay, some areas remained untainted. So if you preserve a place or an area, guys, so that area is not spoiled, of course. So the word untainted, okay, you can have a clue to the word untainted when he said, thanks to Mayer attempts to commercialize and spoil, many unique areas have been thwarted, have been prevented. So the clue to the meaning of the word tainted is spoiled. So the word spoiled, and go to the next page. The word taint, yeah, it's number 14F. 14F. The next one, number 9, unremitting. His decision to preserve was consistent and unremitting. Number 1, which part of speech is it? Okay, it's of course an adjective. He said it modified the noun dedication. His dedication to preservation was consistent and unremitting. Do you have a clue, guys? If you read the word before it, you have the word consistent. The word consistent. So the word consistent gives a clue to the meaning of unremitting. unremitting. Guys, you have other words for the word unremitting, like unrelenting, unrelenting. Okay, all these words mean the same, guys. So the clue to the meaning of the word unremitting is the word consistent. And the answer, go to the next page. The word unremitting, it's number 18, unremitting. The last word, read it please for just seconds, it doesn't need more. So I read it again. Okay, Mayer was a pioneer in many ways. He championed conservation long before it was fashionable or in vogue. So the meaning of the word vogue here, guys, I think that it's very clear here, which is fashionable. So the word vogue means fashion. So the answer is, it's number 11. It's the last word in this lesson 11, the word vogue. Okay, that's all for lesson 21, guys. You have to do page 86. Do it alone at home, please, and we'll check it later, inshallah. Have a nice time, guys, and nice meeting you again.